everyone. My name is Shelley Summerfield. I am currently a student in Communications 110-E1. I'm sure we've all experienced times in our lives when we're speaking and it doesn't flow smoothly, but for those that suffer from fluency disorders, this happens all too often. But people with severe fluency disorders stutter in up to 50% of the words they are speaking. Understanding fluency disorders as an educator may be a true benefit to the education of a dysfluent student. I have been passionate and studied fluency disorders for over 10 years, as I've had the privilege to raise a child with a fluency disorder. A teacher's response to school-age children with fluency disorders can have long-term effects on those students' feelings towards school. A teacher's awareness to fluency disorders and their positive or negative influence responses may impact that of the dysfluent student. To begin with, a teacher's understanding and their awareness of fluency disorders and how they respond to students may impact that fluency disorder. A teacher can play a crucial role in the adaptation of a student with a fluency disorder. According to Graham Daniel and his colleagues, early years of schooling are a significant time in the children's development with implications for their educational achievement, future lives, and society. They believe that teachers need to be prepared themselves and understand what skills are required to lend the most support to that of the student. The Department of the National Institute of Deafness and Communications state that roughly 3 million Americans stutter. Stuttering affects people of all ages, races, and genders. It occurs most often in children between the ages of 2 and 6 and approximately affects 5 to 10% of children. Stuttering occurs more often in males than females by 2 to 3 times more often, and this increases as the children age. 75% of children will overcome stuttering, and that leaves about 1% of the worldwide population that still stutters. It is especially important to note that students who stutter are no less intelligent than those who do not. Teachers may choose to familiarize themselves with the definition of stuttering. According to Kumar and Varghese, their journal article states that stuttering is a fluency disorder characterized by the stoppage of speech at a normally high rate and duration, and the stoppage can include disfluencies such as syllable repetitions, word or words repetition, prolongations, pauses, as well as blockage of flow. Students will often try to hide their disfluency, and teachers should be aware of clues such as withdrawal from speech, peculiar phrasing, pitch changes, strange movements while talking, and interjections at real odd places. Repetitions occur when the student or the child repeats a syllable 3 or more times, such as may I use the restroom, and prolongations occur when a student is holding on to something. Science is fun. And word repetitions is when students repeatedly say a word or words such as I can read, and blocks occur, and this is what happened to my son often when the words just don't flow out. They are blank. They're trying to say it and nothing is coming out. If a child does not receive the appropriate therapies, the stuttering will often worsen. Given the large amount of time that a teacher spends with a student, they are often the best one to let the speech pathologist know what's going on about the communication behaviors that are being displayed by the student. Professor Williams, author of The Child Who Studies, recognizes that stuttering is a highly individual disorder, but the resources are available for both the teacher and the students. Professor Williams states, one area in which a teacher can play an important part is identification. Every student who they suspect dysfluency on should be referred to a speech pathologist. It is also important for teachers to realize that their positive and or negative reactions or responses may indeed have positive or negative outcomes for that of the dysfluent student. A teacher's efforts to provide positive responses to a fluency disorder can help reduce secondary behaviors, can minimize avoidance, can help include that student's communication skills, can help increase student self-confidence. It can decrease the bullying effect and also minimize the impact of stuttering on that student's life. They indicate that treatment should be aimed at increasing fluency and decreasing negative reactions, which will then help increase fluency. Professor Williams does write that a teacher can then support and assure the student that their speech is not a problem or bothersome and allow the student to express their frustrations. It is suggested that teachers form a positive relationship with the parents, the speech pathologist, and the student in order to build trust and in order to avoid detrimental effects on the students. According to Daniel and Associates, understanding challenges is very important for supporting and engaging learning and educational outcomes of children with speech disorders. It is obvious that positive teacher responses can be beneficial to the students, but now let's look at those that respond negatively. Negative responses can increase student disfluencies and cause other problems in the learning environment. According to Jane McCormick and Associates in their published study, a large negative responses may increase disfluency, may lead to poor academic performances, may lead to difficulty in reading, may increase bullying, may lead to poor peer relationships, and higher rates of psychosocial difficulties among peers of their own age. Professor Williams indicates that teachers should not assume that stuttering will go away. They should never interrupt or finish a student's statements. They should never tell the students to slow down. They should not assume that the student is stuttering for attention, and they should not assume that the student has a learning disability. The amount of stuttering heard in a student's voice may be indicative of the situation that they are in. A high stress event may cause increased disfluency and fear, which results in causing disfluency. Yaris and Associates do reference that the reduction in negative reactions to stuttering will lead to an improvement in fluency. As you have heard, negative responses to disfluent students may lead to increased disfluency. In conclusion, it may be important to note that teachers gain awareness of disfluency and respond positively for better fluency of the student. A teacher's response to school-age children with fluency disorders can have long-term effects on those students' feelings towards school. Teachers' understanding and awareness provide positive responses. Ridding of negative responses may be beneficial to disfluency. I encourage all educators to be aware of their responses to their students' fluency disorders, and awareness may be the key to improving the students' educational experiences. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.